The chamber was older than memory itself. Its walls were carved from dark stone, glowing faintly with blue light that seemed alive. Strange symbols crawled like shadows across the ceiling. Thousands of alien leaders sat in curved rows, their eyes locked on the central stage. It was a secret meeting. No humans were supposed to be here. Not one. On the stage, a tall alien with silver skin raised his claws high. His voice echoed like thunder across the chamber. "Today," he declared, "we discuss the end of the humans." The room fell into silence. Then, slowly, cruel laughter spread. Screens appeared in the air, holograms of Earth, its colonies, and the fragile lines of human defenses. In row 3, one figure shifted slightly. He wore a plain gray coat, nothing special. His face was calm, ordinary, almost invisible. But he was not one of them. He was human. And he was listening. The speaker's claws pointed at Earth. They think themselves powerful. They believe their courage will save them. But humans are reckless. Their armies are unprepared. Their fleets are small. We will strike quickly. Their world will burn before they even understand what has happened. Gasps of approval swept through the crowd. Another alien leaned forward, eyes glowing yellow. "Yes. First we will blind them. Their satellites will fall. Their colonies will be cut off. Their people will starve. And then," said another voice, cruel and sharp, "we crush Earth itself. One strike. No survivors." The man in row 3 sat very still. His eyes flickered, memorizing every detail, every plan. His heartbeat thundered in his chest, but his face showed nothing. He could not afford a single mistake. The aliens continued. Phase 1 cut their eyes. Phase 2 blockade their colonies. Phase 3 burn their home world. Phase 4. Phase 4, someone asked. The silver alien smiled, his teeth glistening. Silence. Humanity erased. Their name forgotten. The hall erupted with roars of approval. Fists slammed against stone. Voices rose in excitement. The destruction of Earth was being celebrated like a festival. But the man in row 3 did not move. He only clenched his hands under the table. For a brief moment, he thought of home, of crowded streets, children playing, laughter, and music. All the little things that made humans more than just prey. His jaw tightened. One alien suddenly froze. Its nostrils flared as it sniffed the air. Its black eyes scanned the rows. "Something is strange," it muttered. The man's heart skipped. His disguise was good, but not perfect. If they looked too closely. Another alien leaned closer to its companion. "Your nerves betray you. We are about to erase a species. Of course you feel it." Laughter followed. The suspicion faded. The man exhaled slowly, quietly. He had survived for now. The meeting continued for hours. Each alien offered ways to break humanity faster, cleaner, more cruelly. Some wanted fire from orbit. Others wanted to poison Earth's oceans. A few even spoke of enslaving the survivors. The man in row 3 listened to it all. His mind worked like a machine, storing every word. He was one against thousands. But he was human, and humans had always been dangerous when cornered. At last, the silver alien slammed his claw against the podium. "It is decided. The end of humanity begins soon. None shall survive." The chamber shook with thunderous approval. The man rose quietly. He moved through the crowd, careful, invisible. No one noticed him leave. No one thought a human could have been here. But if they had looked closely just once, they might have seen something. A faint smile at the edge of his lips. Because he now carried the truth. The galaxy was planning humanity's end. And humanity would not go quietly. As he stepped into the cold corridors outside, his eyes hardened. War was coming. The aliens thought they were hunters. But the man in row 3 knew the truth. The hunters had just spoken their plans, right in front of the wolves. The transport ship shook as it slipped out of warp. The man from row 3 sat alone, staring at the stars beyond the glass. His hands were steady now, but his thoughts burned like fire. He had listened to their laughter, their promises of destruction, their plans to erase humanity. And now he carried it home. His name was Daniel Hale. To most of Earth, he was no one important, an intelligence officer working in shadows, moving from place to place. But tonight, he was the only man alive who knew the future. The ship landed quietly in New Geneva, Earth's capital. No one cheered. No one even noticed him as he stepped into the cold night. He looked like just another traveler, weary from long journeys. But in his pocket was a data chip filled with stolen recordings, proof of what the aliens planned. Hours later, Daniel stood inside a great hall filled with Earth's leaders. Men and women from every nation, every fleet, every colony watched him closely. He placed the chip on the table. "They are coming," Daniel said, his voice calm but heavy. "Not in years. Not in decades. Soon. The galaxy has chosen to erase us." The hall grew tense. Some leaned forward, listening. Others shook their heads. One general scoffed. "We have heard rumors before. Threats, whispers. Why should we believe this one?" Daniel's eyes hardened. "Because I was there. I sat among them. I heard the plan with my own ears. They laughed about starving our children. They spoke of burning Earth until nothing is left. And they have fleets waiting." The general frowned but said nothing. A councilwoman spoke next, her voice sharp. "You expect us to believe a human could walk into the Council of Species and return alive? Impossible." Daniel did not flinch. He pressed the button. The room filled with alien voices, echoing from the chip. Their cruel laughter shook the walls. Their words spilled out: satellites destroyed, colonies cut off, Earth in flames. The hall fell silent. Some faces turned pale. Others trembled with rage. Still, one voice rose in doubt. "Even if this is true, we cannot win. Their fleets outnumber ours 100 to 1. What can humanity do?" Daniel leaned forward, his eyes burning. "We can prepare. We can hide what they don't know. They believe we are weak. They believe we are disorganized. Let them believe. That will be our weapon." Murmurs spread through the hall. Fear mixed with hope. At last, the president of Earth stood. She was an old woman with steel in her eyes. "If this is true," she said slowly, "then we do not have much time. We must prepare, but quietly. If they learn we are ready, they will strike sooner." Daniel nodded. "Then we must become shadows. They think we are prey. Let us make them believe it until it is too late." The council broke into arguments. Some shouted for diplomacy. Others for surrender. A few demanded open war. But the president silenced them with a single raised hand. She turned to Daniel. "You have seen their plan. You have carried this warning across the stars. From this day forward, you are our messenger and our shield. The galaxy may think humanity sleeps, but we will not. Not again. For the first time since row 3, Daniel allowed himself a small smile. The truth was heavy, but now it was no longer his burden alone. Outside the great hall, the night sky over Earth was calm and filled with stars. To ordinary people, nothing had changed. But in secret, everything had. Ships would be built. Weapons would be sharpened. Defenses would be hidden in the dark corners of space. Humanity would prepare in silence. And when the aliens came, they would not find prey. They would find something else waiting. Something that had been listening all along. The galaxy moved like a beast preparing to strike. In the far corners of space, fleets of alien warships gathered in silence. Their engines burned cold blue light, their hulls marked with the symbols of dozens of species united under one goal: humanity's destruction. They believed Earth still slept. They believed no whisper of their plan had escaped. But they were wrong. On Earth, deep under the oceans, in hidden mountain vaults, and in dark stations orbiting far from the public eye, preparations had already begun. Daniel Hale's warning had reached the right ears, and now humanity's leaders acted with quiet precision. Factories worked through endless nights. Colonies shipped raw materials under false labels. Old weapons, once thought too dangerous, were taken from storage and tested again. Research labs glowed with secret light as engineers built machines the galaxy had never seen before. But to outsiders, Earth still looked fragile. Still weak. Still prey. That illusion was their shield. In the galactic core, alien commanders studied Earth's defenses and laughed. Look at them, one sneered, pointing at intercepted transmissions. Their fleets are scattered, their colonies poorly supplied. They have no idea what comes. Another commander chuckled. They are fools. They think trade agreements and fragile treaties will protect them. But when we strike, no one will save them. They believed victory was certain. Their confidence grew like fire. Yet far away, in a quiet room beneath the president's residence, Daniel Hale stood over a map of stars. Dozens of red markers showed alien fleets moving into position. Around him, generals and scientists argued in low voices. They outnumber us 100 to 1, one said grimly. But they do not understand us, Daniel answered. His voice was calm, but his eyes burned. They think humans are predictable. They think numbers are enough. But they do not know what desperation makes of us. The generals fell silent. Daniel pointed to several systems. We must not fight them where they are strong. We must fight where they least expect us. Surprise will be our weapon. The president nodded slowly. And the people? Daniel's jaw tightened. They cannot know. Not yet. If panic spreads, we are finished. We must carry this burden in silence until the first strike comes. The room grew heavy with the weight of his words. Outside, life on Earth went on as usual. Children played, markets bustled, lovers walked under the stars. The people did not know their world stood on the edge of annihilation. And perhaps that was mercy. But in hidden places, soldiers trained harder than ever before. Pilots flew secret simulations, learning tactics no alien had ever faced. Scientists built weapons disguised as cargo ships. Even the old navies of Earth forgotten, rusting in harbors were quietly restored. Every night, Daniel walked alone through the silent streets of New Geneva. He watched the people laugh, unaware of the storm coming for them. A part of him envied their ignorance. Another part fueled his determination. Because he had seen the faces of those who wanted them gone. He had listened to their laughter. And he had promised himself that when the storm came, Earth would not fall quietly. Far away, alien admirals celebrated as more ships joined their armadas. They toasted to Earth's destruction, blind to the trap being built in shadows. The galaxy believed humanity was prey. But prey was learning to sharpen its teeth. The storm was coming. And in the silence before it, Earth prepared to strike back. The sky above Earth burned red. At first it looked like falling stars, glittering across the darkness. But these were not stars. They were ships, thousands of alien warships, their hulls black and sharp like knives. The invasion had begun. Across Earth, alarms screamed. Cities lit up as defense sirens wailed. People ran into shelters, clutching children and loved ones. The storm Daniel had warned about had finally arrived. In orbit, alien admirals smiled. Phase 1 complete, one announced. Their satellites are falling. They are blind. Explosions flashed as human satellites shattered one after another. Communication lines broke. Chaos spread. The aliens laughed, just as they had in the hidden seminar. But then something strange happened. Earth did not crumble. Earth waited. In New Geneva, Daniel Hale stood before the command screens. His voice was steady. They believe they have already won. Let them. Hold all forces in position. Do not reveal our strength yet. Generals hesitated, watching the skies fill with fire. But they obeyed. The alien fleets moved closer, their confidence rising. Blockades formed around colonies, and massive warships pointed their weapons toward Earth. Phase 2, the alien commander ordered. Begin the blockade. Starve them out. Ships spread across the system. Supply routes were cut. Colonies flickered in isolation. The news tightened. And still, Earth did not break. The aliens were confused but amused. They cower, one sneered. They are paralyzed with fear. But deep under the oceans, in bases the galaxy had forgotten, the truth was waking. Massive hangars opened. Old war machines, long thought decommissioned, roared to life. Submarines that could strike the stars rose from the depths. In mountain vaults, hidden fleets powered on, shields glowing with new energy. And then, in the silence of space, the first trap was sprung. An alien cruiser, scouting too close to Jupiter's orbit, suddenly exploded in a storm of fire. Another followed. Then another. Invisible weapons, hidden on disguised platforms, revealed themselves. The alien admiral's smile vanished. What is this? They should have nothing here. Daniel's voice carried through Earth's command room. Phase 1, complete. Show them the teeth of humanity. Suddenly, Earth's sky lit up not with alien fire, but with human warships rising from hidden launch bays. They were not the small, weak fleets the aliens expected. These ships were bigger, stronger, and faster, born in secret factories, armed with weapons no alien had seen. The first counterattack was brutal. Human missiles tore through blockade lines. Fleets disguised as cargo ships turned and opened fire. Colonies that seemed defenseless revealed hidden defense cannons, blasting enemy cruisers into wreckage. The galaxy's hunters had just become prey. On Earth, crowds hiding in shelters watched live broadcasts. They saw human ships fight back, saw alien fleets burn. Fear turned into fire in their hearts. They began to cheer. In orbit, chaos spread through alien ranks. They were supposed to be weak, one commander shouted. They were supposed to crumble. But they were not crumbling. They were striking. Harder than anyone had imagined. Daniel stood at the center of command, his jaw set. This is only the beginning. Do not waste our strength on one battle. Bleed them slowly. Make them regret. Human fleets split into dozens of small groups, striking from shadows, disappearing, then striking again. The aliens tried to chase, but every trap led them into ambushes. Hours later, the once proud alien armadas drifted in ruins. Thousands of ships destroyed, others retreating in panic. Their great unstoppable invasion had turned into a nightmare. And for the first time in centuries, the galaxy trembled. Because Earth had not only survived, it had fought back and it had won the first strike. As wreckage burned in orbit, Daniel whispered to himself, almost too quietly for anyone to hear. You planned our end. But now you will learn. Humanity does not die so easily. The war had lasted only weeks. But in those weeks, the galaxy changed forever. Alien fleets that once moved with arrogance now floated as shattered wrecks. Worlds that had laughed at Earth's weakness now whispered in fear. The Council of Species, who had once planned humanity's end in a secret hall, now sat in silence. Because the prey they mocked had bitten back. In New Geneva, the skies were clear once more. Burned wreckage of alien ships glowed faintly as they drifted in orbit. Humanity's flags waved in the streets below, carried by people who had once trembled but now stood tall. Daniel Hale, the man from row 3, walked quietly through the city. To most, he was still just a man in a gray coat, moving without ceremony. But to the leaders of Earth, to the soldiers who had fought, and to the children who now laughed under free skies, he was something else. He was the one who had listened. Without him, Earth would have been ash. Reports poured in from across the stars. Alien commanders begged for peace. Some offered apologies, others threatened revenge, but none dared attack again. Too many had already tasted what it meant to awaken humanity's fury. In the council chamber where it had all begun, silence replaced laughter. The same silver-skinned alien who once spoke with pride now whispered in shame. We thought them weak. We thought numbers were enough. But they fought like no species before. We have created a monster. No, another corrected, voice trembling. We revealed the truth. Humanity was always a monster. We were simply blind. Fear spread like a disease. Entire civilizations began changing their policies. Ships once pointed toward Earth turned away. Some races secretly prepared defenses not to fight humanity, but to protect themselves in case humanity decided to strike next. Back on Earth, the president addressed her people. Her voice carried across every colony, every settlement. They planned to erase us. They thought we would beg, or break, or vanish into silence. But humanity does not vanish. We endure. We rise. And we fight back. Let the stars remember this day, the day the galaxy tried to end us, and failed. Crowds roared. Bells rang. For the first time in generations, every human world felt united. Not by fear, but by fire. Daniel stood at the edge of the square, half hidden by shadows. He did not cheer. He only watched. He remembered the secret hall, the cruel laughter, the arrogance. He remembered the moment he chose to stay silent in row 3, knowing one wrong move would mean death. Now, as the people celebrated, he finally allowed himself to breathe. A soldier approached him. Sir, they're calling you a hero. Some say you saved the species. Daniel shook his head. I didn't save humanity. humanity saved itself. I only listened. But deep inside, he knew the truth. One man had carried the warning. One man had held his silence while the galaxy planned humanity's death. One man had brought the storm home. And because of that, the galaxy now lived in fear of a single phrase whispered across the stars. Be careful what you say. Because a human might be listening.